but you're never too deep in the sin. But you're never too deep, start speaking to him. He's the healer, the giver, the taker. Allah is your maker.
How many times do we read Al-Fatihah every day? Compulsory, like we're obliged to read it. How many times do you think? 6, you said? 7 or 17? You look unsure. It is 17. It is 17. And for that reason, it deserves more than 3 sessions, but I thought practically 3 sessions. I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Mourad Diouri. I'm actually local here. I live 5 minutes from here. My main masjid is Central Mosque because I work there at the University of Edinburgh. I teach Arabic for the past 17 years. I work with colleagues who their children actually sit in here. And I'm also a father, I'm also a husband, and an avid kayaker. So if you have my contact, you will see my kayaking and water sport. So 2 things we're going to look at: the linguistic, which is the language, the spiritual, which is very important, and the practical meaning, which is more important for me as a human being. What do I do every day? Okay, so we'll go into that. First of all, let's do a dua, which is the dua of Musa. Can anybody read the calligraphy? Anybody familiar with calligraphy? What does it say? How does it start? That's the important bit. Qala, is it? That's easy for you. Okay, you're an Arabic speaker. Together. Rabbi shrah li sadri. ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. And this is a beautiful dua whenever you wish, whenever you're meeting people, you're about to have an interview, you're about to meet somebody that you're not comfortable with. رب اشرح لي صدري. Oh Allah, open my heart or open my chest for me. يسر لي أمري. Ease my task for me. It's a very universal dua that could be applied to any situation. احلل عقدة من لساني. Untie a knot in my tongue. Because sometimes you could be as articulate and fluent as you can, but as soon as you stand in front of someone, your mind could go blank. And it happens a lot in interviews, especially in teaching situations. I've been a teacher for a very long time, since probably your age. And if you see me in my first years of teaching, I had a knot in my tongue. It's not easy to develop kind of an ability to articulate and talk in front of people. يفقه قولي, which means so that they may understand my speech. So this is a dua for me and you, inshallah. Here's another dua which is very important, which is altogether, Allahumma anfa'ni bima 'allamtani. Oh Allah, benefit me of what you have taught me. وعلمني ما ينفعني. And this is a prayer, a plea, and teach me what will benefit me. This is a prophetic, وَزِدْنِ عِلْمًا, and increase my knowledge. Beautiful dua, beautiful dua. Okay, so Al-Fatiha in a nutshell. Who knows Al-Fatiha? I'm joking. Of course we do, yeah? If you are a Muslim, if you are praying, we just prayed, you know Al-Fatiha by heart. But how many times do you ponder and reflect on it? We said 17 times, right? That's a lot in every day. The Christians actually kind of envy us of having to pray 5 times a day because we are in constant contact with God, with Allah. Not once a week on Sunday, not once a week on Friday. So the fact that we repeat this 17 times, other than in comparison to any other chapter, it deserves a lot of attention. Okay, so let's read it together. Bismillah, read it at your own way of recitation or tajweed. So we'll read it together. 1, 2, 3. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina as-sirata al-mustaqim. Sirata alladhina an'amta alayhim. غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Ameen. Who read it Maliki Yawmiddin? Most of you would say Maliki Yawmiddin. Who read it Maliki Yawmiddin? Not Malik. So this is the Qira'at Warsh, which is in Morocco. We read it as Malik. And the meaning is more or less the same. The owner or the king, it's more or less the same. But in Morocco, I'm from Morocco, we say Maliki Yawmiddin. As in, قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ النَّاسِ. Finish? We don't say Malik in-nas, we say Malik in-nas. That's the same word as Malik, kind of they have the same root. Okay? Who can tell me the English? So let's go through it together. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Allah, most merciful, the most compassionate. Okay? Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. the Lord of the world. Okay, by now you should know the English or on your own language. Okay, Malik Yawmiddin, Master of the Day of Judgment. Okay, I keep forgetting. إياك نعبد. This is not just Brother Hassan. What about you? إياك نعبد. You alone we worship. وإياك نستعين. You alone for us for help. Okay. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. To the what? To the straight path. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم. That's group one. The path of those. Okay. صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم. Okay. ولا الضالين. And not those. That's group three. Ameen. What does Ameen mean? What does it mean? That's it. Oh Allah, accept my prayer. Amen. Okay. So I think we need to at least be familiar with the literal meaning, the general meaning that is being repeated and said. But what we're doing here was digging deep beyond just the translation. Okay. What do we know so far? Let me kind of, again, this is a conversation, it's a dialogue. I don't want to lecture you. I want to share knowledge, but I also want to know what you know so far, and then we'll build upon it. What do you know so far about Al-Fatihah? Just, I'm a newbie. I'm new to Islam. What could you tell me? Okay. Where and where? Okay. Yes. That's actually scholars. They say that it has a dual revelation location, which makes it, and it's at the time of transition of the Prophet from Mecca to Medina. What else? That's very specific. But what else? Just I'm new to Islam. I need to know what Al-Fatihah. This chapter that you. It is a conversation. It's a very special dialogue with Allah. Based on what? What's your evidence? Yes. So this is a hadith Qudsi. It's a hadith Qudsi where Allah, as soon as you say Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, Allah responds to you directly. And we go through that dialogue, beautiful dialogue. What else? What else do you know about Al-Fatihah? What could you tell me? Sell it to me.
Similar to the Lord's Prayer, kind of like its message and kind of being not the foundation of it, but as in the same way the Lord's Prayer is kind of the most common prayer for Christians, kind of describe.
I see what you mean. Yes.
It's similar in that way for us.
Yes.
Most basic, most repeated.
And they say that the Al-Fatiha has a universal appeal because it's for every human being. It reflects on the human experience, not the Muslim experience. Good. What else could you tell me? Just tell me something I don't know about Al-Fatiha, or something you know that inspired you about Al-Fatiha. It's Ummul Quran, the mother of the Quran. What else? It is known as healing, as shifa. And what does that mean? How do we make it shifa? What do you do to medicine? You consume it, right? But how does Al-Fatiha becomes a healing?
The story of the Sahabas.
Yes. Usually used as spiritual healing. What is spiritual healing in Arabic? Ruqya. So you pass it, and again, it doesn't have to be a sheikh or wali who does it. You could do it yourself. I've been struggling with the flu recently, and I'm just reading Al-Fatiha over myself. I'm developing some pain in my knees, when you get to this age, and usually I would rest my hand, just read it, but you have to read it with intention, with sincerity, if you want it to be healing. What else could you tell me? Come on, Taha.
It's like the whole Quran in one surah.
Okay. The summary, the microcosm, yes. Let's dig deeper now. So, I'm going to give you a set of questions like this, and then amongst you discuss, see what you could find out, see if you could answer. It's not a quiz, it's not right or wrong, there's no prizes, although there are pakoras at the end, but it's just kind of unraveling what Al-Fatiha is, okay? So I will give you a few minutes with a partner next to you, just go through these questions and answer as many as you can. If you don't know the answer, move on to the next, okay? Yalla, introduce, please. So who was the first person who helped you to memorize Al-Fatiha? Who was that? Your mom, mashallah. She gets the reward until you die. Yeah? All the reading, the prayers. Who else could tell me? Do you remember? Because it's hard to, yeah? It's like you're born with it. Okay, thank you. I taught my son, yeah. What's that?
My mother is
MashaAllah, mashallah. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. What else? Do you remember? Teachers? Yes? Most teacher, okay. So they get the reward as well. Yes. For me, it was my teacher, my Islamic teacher at home, back in Morocco. I learned to pray, I learned about Al-Fatihah, but again, sometimes it's hard to pinpoint exactly where you learn it because it's the first thing that you learn, or if you are in an environment where you listen to Al-Fatihah a lot, it becomes part of you, so you can't say exactly when. Okay, in which juz the Al-Fatihah was found? Obviously, first juz is the Basmala part of Al-Fatihah. Yes? Okay? Exactly, yeah. Does it matter? Does it affect our lives? There are two opinions. I am comfortable with both positions. The opinion that says Al-Basmala, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, is not mentioned, is not named first verse, it's the Hadith Qudsi which says that that's it. It doesn't say when you say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Allah will say this. So that's one of the evidence. The second evidence is that it was revealed in its entirety with Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. If you look at other chapters of the Quran, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim is not number one. It's not verse number one. Okay? So that's why it's mentioned. And it's the beginning of the Quran. But does it really practically matter if it's not? So how many verses are there in Al-Fatiha? Well, 7 or 6. That's the answer. Where was it revealed? I think we've answered that. Mecca and Medina, again, both during that transition of the time of the Prophet. How many times do we have to recite Al-Fatiha? We said 17 times, compulsory times. And then you have optional times, nafila. And how many words do you think, roughly? Forget the letters. The letters is technical. How many words? 38? Okay. I have 29. Huh? 28? I have it as 20. I have 29. Where did you get 38? Maybe it's...
I didn't even look at it. I just freestyled it.
Okay. Does it matter?
I didn't realize people actually...
I was going to remove this question, but it's a technical kind of, what's the order of the alphabet of Jim? Does it really matter? 7th or 5th? It really doesn't matter. Okay. Some reflections. Al-Fatiha is the microcosm of the whole Quran. That means it sums up the whole message. This is a beautiful concept, which means if you want to find out what the whole Quran is, read Al-Fatiha. Read it with presence, slowly, and you'll see. And we're going to go through themes. I have 3 slides that sums up all the themes that are mentioned in Al-Fatiha. They are hidden. You don't see them. Iyaka na'budu, we could extract 5 themes from it. Okay? And once I mention them, you realize, that's exactly what it means. It's literally the whole Quran in 7 verses. The first surah to be revealed in its entirety, and it's a comprehensive prayer that encapsulates the key themes of Islam. If somebody is interested in Islam for the first time, I would give them a commentary on Al-Fatiha. I would not give them the whole Quran. You know why? Because the whole Quran is too detailed. There's a lot of rulings because it's mentioned, because the Fatiha kind of sums up the whole Quran. You know what the commentator says? They said Al-Fatiha, the whole Quran is a commentary on Al-Fatiha, is a tafsir of the Fatiha. If you want to find out what Al-Fatiha means, read the rest of the Quran. You see? We're going to come back to that, inshallah. And then, is our prayer valid if we don't recite Al-Fatiha? No. Categorically no. That shows the compulsory or the obligation of reading Al-Fatiha. Allah made it compulsory for divine wisdom that we don't know. But it's for obvious reasons, for seeking His mercy, etc. Okay? Right. Here are some more questions. Were there any mentions of specific laws, legal rulings, stories, or historic events in Al-Fatiha? You sure? No. Okay. This is what teachers do. They put doubt in your head. So, were there any legal rulings like this is the hukm or fatwa for wudu, for salah, for marriage, for eating, for whatever, for conducting your life? Were there any mentioned? None. They were not. There were any stories of the prophets? No. No prophet was mentioned there. Why? Because it sums up major themes, especially if it was revealed in Mecca and then on way to Medina. Allah is telling us all the main themes that we need to know about Islam, and then the details will come later. Okay? In which Islamic rituals do we recite Al-Fatiha outside compulsory prayers? It's very popular. So besides the prayer, okay, each rakah has to have al-Fatiha. Where do we recite al-Fatiha? Janaza, yes. True. True. Yeah. Well. Yeah. 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 So the salah, okay, the salat of the Eidain, the Eid prayers, but within Janaza context, where do we recite it as well? When you visit the graves, you read upon the deceased. Okay. Moving beyond, where else? Where else do we recite al-Fatiha?
Some Sufis, they recite it after they've made, like someone they're making dua.
Yeah.
So to conclude a gathering,
Yes.
they will recite Fatiha.
So it's a kind of event to seek blessing. Sometimes at the beginning or at the end. It doesn't have to be Sufism. I've seen this in many events, official events. What else? Talking about events, especially in the Arab world, or even probably in Asia as well. They do recite Al-Fatiha outside prayer. Weddings, exactly. So when you have nikah, you need to recite Al-Fatiha. Al-Fatiha is kind of let's seal this contract. Al-Fatiha. That's what the Arabs say. Al-Fatiha. Let's recite Al-Fatiha. Ruqya. Remember we mentioned Ruqya as well. It's very important. You watch YouTube. You see these ghost hunters. Yeah. Allahu Akbar, and then you recite Al-Fatiha because of jinn, kind of sorcery and all that. So, but it's something that you could recite on your own as an excellent dua. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. From there onwards, that's a plea to Allah. That's a dua in itself. Okay, I think we've spoken about that. Okay, what's the grammatical meaning of the ta in Al-Fatiha? For those who are Arabic speakers, hold on your fires. So we say Al-Fatiha, and it ends with a ta. Okay, which is a closed tight ta. What does that mean grammatically? I'm sure you've done it in Al-Qaida, Nuraniyah. If I show you the writing of Al-Fatiha, can you see it at the end? That closed loop, what does that mean? Yes?
Can you go back to it?
Say it, yes. Say it before you forget.
Talk about the ha.
No, not after the ha. Oh, you lost it there. There, see? Al-Fatiha, there is a closed ta. What does that ta mean? No, it's just, what's the word for students in Arabic? Talib. Good. So you're reflecting your gender. What about female? What would she say? That's it. That's the meaning. It's feminine ending. To make a word feminine in Arabic, you add Fatiha. Got it? So if you want to remove that feminine ending, what are we left with? Al-Fatih. Who's Al-Fatih? Have you heard of Al-Fatih before? Do you remember who conquered Constantinople? Huh? Not Al-Quds, not Jerusalem. Constantinople, which is Istanbul today. His name is Muhammad Al-Fatih. Fatih means the conqueror, the one who conquers a place. So it's like opener, okay? And what's that verse or the chapter in the Quran that says, it's called the victory. إِذَا جَاءَ نَصْرُ اللَّهِ وَالْفَتْحِ. You've heard of al-fath. Fath means conquest or opening. So fataha in Arabic, it's to do with opening, okay? What's the Arabic root word of al-Fatiha? We've got 3 letters. Fataha, which means to open, to make way in. We call keys in Arabic miftah, something that opens, okay? So the reason it's called al-Fatiha, it means it opens the Quran. It's called literally the opener, okay? And this is again the one I mentioned, which is the Ottoman Sultan who conquered Constantinople, 1453. His name is Fatih. Bull Green Mosque, do you know the Imam? His name is Fatih, right? Means opener, conqueror in a way, Fatih. This is very, very specific. How do Muslim Arab traders typically greet the day when they open literally the door shop? What do they say? There's a dua that they make. They call upon Allah by His name that is related to Fataha. What do they say? They say, Ya Fattah, O opener, O provider. Ya Fattah, Ya Alim, O opener or knower, Ya Razzaq or Ya Kareem. They call upon his 4 divine attributes. Ya Razzaq, or provider, Ya Kareem, or generous. So they make a dua, Ya Fattahu Ya Alim. This is a beautiful dua that even you don't have literally to have a business. You could just start your day, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, and you could start Ya Fattahu Ya Alim, which is a beautiful dua to start. Okay. Here is some of the verses in the Quran that says رَبَّنَا افتح بيننا وبين قومنا. O Allah, judge between us. So fataha also means to do with judging. وقومنا بالحق وأنت خير الفاتحين. And you are the best of judges. Here's another verse. إنا فتحنا لك فتحا مبينا. We have granted you a clear victory. Sometimes fataha means a clear victory or opening. Have you heard of the conquest of Mecca? Prophet Muhammad, when at the end of time, it's called Fathu Mecca, the opening of Mecca. Again, the Arabic still fataha. So this is how Arabic works. You need to play with those 3 words, 3 letters, fataha. If I say kataba, what does that mean? What does it remind you? Kataba. Kitab, it's to do with writing. If I say kharaja, to do with exiting, khuruj. Yeah. If I say qara'a, does that remind you of any other words? Qira'ah, say Quran, qara, a reader, a reciter. This is how Arabic works. It's just those three root words. Okay. Why is Al-Fatiha considered the best dua?
Begin by praising Allah.
Well, that's praise. That's not dua.
But it's not like when you make dua.
I see.
You should follow the pattern of
I'm with you.
So
Yes.
you should praise Allah at the start.
I'm with you. So you're answering question number 2.
Oh, sorry.
What lessons can we learn from Al-Fatiha? Which means you praise first, then you ask. You see, you give first, then you ask. Not asking, but not giving. Okay, but I think that answers the whole thing. It is considered the best dua because the dua, you see half of them. So this is Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin. All of this is praise and glorification of Allah. And then you say, إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينَ. Up to here, the mid half of the Al-Fatiha is all praise and glorification. And then you say, oh Allah, guide us to the straight path. You see? And this is the beauty, this is an etiquette of dua, which is don't rush your dua. Don't say, oh Allah, give me a Ferrari. Oh Allah, make me successful. Oh Allah, give me lots of money so I can, buy something. No. Praise Allah how generous He is, how merciful He is, how giving He is. One of the dua that, at home now, my dua is I call upon Allah by 4 names, 5 names. Ya Fattah, Ya Razzaq, Ya Raziq, or provider, same thing. Ya Mannanu, Ya Mu'ti, O giver, O offerer, kind of Ya Mannanu, Ya Mu'ti. So I call upon the names where Allah is giving, and I spend time with it. You see? So please learn from this, because Al-Fatiha is kind of giving us lesson how to make dua. Okay, here is something else. What does the Arabic name Al-Fatiha mean? Literally, what did we say? The opener. But what does figuratively mean? Metaphorically. Spend time, I'll give you 2 minutes with your partner. Figuratively, behind the lines, what does it mean? Opener. Do you understand? Profound, like deep meaning behind it. Dive deep. So we know it's opener of the book. But what does it mean? Figuratively. What lessons can we take from that? Yalla. Just bounce some ideas. They don't have to be right or wrong. You never know. When you open a door, physical door, what happens and what's the next action? What could you do when you open a door? You walk through, okay. And then what? You don't have to. You don't have to. That's manners, yeah, but you don't have to. No. I'm not asking what do you do as a Muslim, but kind of an experience. When you open the door, you could leave something behind you and go somewhere else, you see? So there are 2 things. You could leave something behind you or go into a new world. But this is what I'm trying to help you. So tell me what you think. What do you think? Metaphorically, figuratively, what does opener mean? Don't judge yourself. Just tell me what comes to mind. It's a hard question, but I have to think about it. Go.
It sort of opens your eye,
Okay.
opens your mind before you read the Quran.
Yes, yes, we say this is an eye-opening experience. I mean, it opens your eyes, it kind of give you inspiration. Okay, eyes leads to mind, so it opens your mind as well. Okay, that's figurative.
Similar to that, it opens your heart to the rest
Yes,
of the
yes.
Quran,
So,
the main themes.
so your eyes and heart, so it opens the heart to the mercy of God, to His wisdom, to His guidance. Yes. What else? What else? I know it's late. I know. Come on. What else? Huh? Okay, so that's literal. So that's kind of literal meaning. Opening of the salah, yes. You open.
It encompasses every action you do. That's what Fatiha tells you how to do it.
Yes, yes. The themes within it. Yes, yes. That's a good one. Yes. Come on, Zaid. You. I can see you have some idea. I said, no. I'm not. I'm not looking for. I'm not looking for fancy answers.
No, I know what I'm
Say
about
it.
to say. I don't know how to say it.
Say it as it is, and then the language will come.
Is that like a kind of gateway?
It is. You see, that's a good. I've got that in the answers. Well done. See, it's a gateway to Allah's wisdom, Allah's knowledge, Allah's mercy, etc. What else? What else? That's deep. Yes. Yes. Yeah. And the more you think about this, the more ideas will start to come. I mean, this is the third time I prepare for this, and my preparations have led me to come up with insights that I haven't thought of. You see, the more you think about it. Let me help you. Let me just go through number 2. Al-Fatiha is known by 6 names in Arabic. Can you translate them for me? So Al-Fatiha, we said, the opener. Okay. Ummul Kitab is the mother of the book. When you say the mother of all things, mother of all evils, it means that's it. Alhamd, the praise, because it has the start with Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, and it's a beautiful prayer that you use to praise. Ash-Shifa, heal. What do we call hospital in Arabic? Mustashfa and mashfa. Mustashfa means a place to seek healing. That's what literally means. Mashfa. As-salah. It is prayer. It is a dua. Prayer and dua are kind of the same thing, supplication. And here's a difficult one. As-sab'ul mathani. They're looking at you. Sab'u means 7. Mathani means the 7 oft repeated verses, because we repeat them frequently. Quran means the recital, a book that you constantly recite and repeat, and that's what it means. Okay, so here's the answer to the first one. It's an opener, it opens the rest of the Quran. It's an opener of hearts and minds and doors. You know, sometimes you say, I just need a breakthrough. I've been working this hard. I've been doing my business for so long. I just need actors use this language. I need a breakthrough. It's an opening of our problems. Out of our problems, sorry. It's a breakthrough, like you said, you see, I got that out of you. It's a gateway, it's a means of access, it's a window, it's a portal, and it's a way into Allah's wisdom, Allah's kind of essence of Islam. It's mentioned the whole thing. But also when you say the way in, it's a way out. You see, I'm leaving things behind me. So let's say you're stuck, you're helpless, you're confused. Read Al-Fatiha. Don't ever underestimate the power of Al-Fatiha. If you think, you know, we have istikhara, we have a prayer of istikhara, but the Fatiha is also a way out, because there it says, Ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim. It says, Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in. You're actually talking to God directly, so don't underestimate that. And it's a beacon of light towards Allah and His wisdom. My typing is very bad there. All right, more questions. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioned by 4 of His beautiful names and attributes. What are they? Before that. Well, Allah is one of the names, okay? So we start with Bismillah. So Allah is one. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Ar-Rahman, ar-Rahim. So that's 3. Huh? Huh? Yes, Maliki Yawmiddin or Maliki Yawmiddin, and Rabb. Where is Rabb? Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen, the Lord and the Sustainer. But there are 2 hidden attributes in this verse that you don't see. What are they? So there are 2 names. I don't know if you memorize the names of Allah, but maybe you've heard them. Maybe you've heard them in English. I'll read so Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin. So far we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in, Ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim. Just here, there's a name hidden. Al-Hadi, the guide. Allah is Hadi. And then Malik, which is the owner. That's it. That's one of the hidden names that is mentioned. Who are the three groups of people mentioned in this Fatiha? This is very, very important. This is the third session, but I want to give you a glimpse of it. Who are the three groups? Tell me in English. We just mentioned them. You know who are the righteous people? Read the rest of the Quran. You see? Read the rest of the Quran to understand. But the commentary, the best commentary I found about the Sirat al-Ladina an'amta alayhim are those that have the truth, they know the answer, and they took action. So you know prayer is compulsory, and you took the action to pray 5 times a day. You know that alcohol is haram, and you took action to avoid it. Avoid it. Forget drinking. Just avoid it. You know that marriage is, or mixing with the intimate sex is not allowed, and you took action to be patient until you get married. You see? What about the second group? We know the answer. We know Islam is the truth. It's undisputable. But sometimes we commit sin. You see? We could be among the second group that Allah is angry with. So we have to be very careful. I've committed sins before. It's not like something you hide. We are humans. We oscillate. We go up and down. You can't be always perfect. Do you understand? So how do we describe it? Those that know the truth or have knowledge but refuse to take action. Okay? What about the third group? Third group are misguided, totally lost. Ignorance. That means they know nothing, and obviously they can't take action. Okay? So let's say I've been invited to families that invited me to meat that wasn't halal. It was turkey. I was big turkey on the table, cooked like I've never had turkey before. I've had it in Morocco, but not in the West here. And I asked, where do you get halal turkey? They said, well, we just say Bismillah. That's ignorance. You see? You just buy it from Tesco and say Bismillah, and then becomes halal all of a sudden. That's ignorance. You see? They don't know, and they can't take the action not to buy the turkey. You see? So we could fall into, that's why don't ever think you are just among the righteous people and the other two would never be amongst them. We oscillate, we jump around between these three groups. Be very careful how we, so inshallah that's something we're going to cover up later on. In which verse did Allah mention the proof and necessity of having prophets? Divine messages. It's here. It's not mentioned literally, but which verse says we must have prophets? Yes. You see? So you say, إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. You alone we worship and you alone we seek help. I need guidance. Allah. How are you going to communicate with me? Prophets. You see? That are from flesh, that are from us. Because if He sent angels, nobody's going to follow angels. Why? Because angels are born from light and they don't commit sin and they're born to worship God, to be obedient 24 hours. But He sent people from us. So that's one of the verses, kind of hidden messages that Ihdina Sirat, oh Allah, guide me to the truth. I need somebody to show me. Here is Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the seal of the Prophet. Follow him and you'll be fine. You'll be among the righteous people. Okay? Al-Fatihah must be recited during each prayer. I think we've covered this, which is the validation. Here's a good question. Why is it considered a symbol of unity among Muslims?
Because everybody reads it the same amount of times at least per day.
Okay. Do they have to be Arabs? That's it. So it's around the world, everybody knows Al-Fatihah with various slight variations of qira'at, the recitations, but everybody who prays, especially who has spent some time in Islam, know Al-Fatihah. So there's a symbol of unity about, and we read it in Arabic, which is the language of Islam, kind of language of prayer. In which way does Al-Fatihah have universal appeal? How does it reflect the human experience and invite us to reflect on our life journey? This is the universal appeal I started. What do you think? I'm going to come to this because this is a hard question. This is where Non-Muslims kind of click. You see, they see the answers. Answers are actually in Al-Fatiha, but I think I'm going to come back to this because this is a hard one to think of, just to come up with the answer. I'm going to come back to these two, okay? Right. You see, for those who say, the commentators who said Al-Fatiha or the rest of the Quran is commentary or tafsir of Al-Fatiha, if I say to you, if you say to me, what's the straight path? What is Sirat al-Mustaqim? Read the rest of the Quran. Who are the righteous people? Read the rest of the Quran. I could explain it, but if you read the rest of the Quran, you will find out who are the good people, who are the people that Allah is blessed with, who has granted paradise. You see? And what is the day of judgment? Yawmuddin. It's mentioned in Al-Fatiha, but there's no explanation. Okay? Read the rest of the Quran. And this is a very, very beautiful thing, which is focus on Al-Fatiha, spend time with it, read the tafsir. Al-Fatiha on its own, it's hard to extract all these meanings. That's why tafsir is important. This is Ibn Kathir. You've heard of Ibn Kathir. This is one volume out of 12 or more. And guess how many pages just for Al-Fatiha? 91 pages. Just Fatiha alone. Of course, he goes into details of this and that and Ameen, but this is Al-Baqarah. You see, all of this is just Al-Fatiha. And it's still not enough. It's still not enough because I couldn't find a lot of stuff in Ibn Kathir. I have to look for other places for meaning. So please do spend time reading Al-Fatiha. And there are books actually published just on Al-Fatiha. Okay? Right. This is the big part, I would say, that answers the other question, which is, why did the commentators said that the whole Quran is a commentary? If you were asked to divide Al-Fatiha into 3 fundamental blocks, sections, or themes, I'll give you some time for this. What would you do? How would you do it? 3 themes. I want you to summarize the whole Fatiha into 3 main themes. Anything has to fall within these 3 main themes. I heard guidance. What else? What else did you come up with? Praise to Allah. Okay. Tawheed. Yes. Yes. You're getting there. Seeking protection and seeking protection, yes. Dua, yes. Supplication and prayer. Guidance, yes.
And guidance away from the wrong path.
Yeah, yes, sir. That's it. Yeah. Well, if you seek the right path, that means you're going to stay away from the bad path. Yes, yeah. It's a hard question because it's like asking, sum up Islam or the whole Quran in 3 points. And if you want to know, some of the commentators says the whole Quran is summed up is in these 7 verses, and the whole of Fatiha is summed up in 2 verses. These 2. Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in. Tawheed is important. Yes, it is one of the themes. What did you come up with? What did you come up with? Anything. Yes. Yes, ihsan. Yeah, okay. What is ihsan in English? How do we translate that? Excellence or seeking excellence or beautification, yes. There was a talk by Reviving Soul, Sheikh Amin, recently. Okay. Yeah. It's too late, isn't it? Yeah, okay. Let me show you what I have. So I have 2 answers. I have my own answer and I have other answers that I've pulled from different places. You could put them into questions. Who and what and how. Could you finish? So what's the first theme? Who? Who? Who's Allah? Is that what you said? You could take credit. That's fine. You could take credit for it. So who's Allah? When you know who's Allah, what does that lead to? Who am I? Because if I know who Apple is, I would know what MacBook is. Do you understand? If you want to find out what a MacBook is, read Steve Jobs' story. That's too much. But know what Apple. Yeah, I've read parts of it, and it's too much detail. But I don't use Windows because I know Bill Gates and the story behind it. So I stay away from Windows because it's a failed PC, right? But if you want to know who you are, find out who your creator is, who is your manufacturer, right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What about second one? What about what? What? What's the message of what? Of life, okay. Okay. Huh? We're not talking about Islam here. What's our purpose in life? Yes, that's close. Yes, very close. So I said, who's Allah? What did you say, what's my purpose? Yes, what's my purpose to please Allah or to worship Allah? Okay, what about how? That's it. How do you fulfill number 2? This is deep. And this is how you should look at Al-Fatihah. But that's one way of doing it. This is my way. So other commentators said there are 3 themes. Believe in the oneness of God, Tawheed, believe in prophethood, which is seeking guidance, which is I need guidance. Islam, Quran on its own is not enough. You need the seerah and the sunnah and the seerah of the Sahaba, etc. And then believe in the hereafter. Where am I going? Where am I heading? After all of this, where am I heading? I see death in front of me every day, especially now, Palestine, the issue. Death is a huge reminder now. Where am I heading? I need to really think about the afterlife, which is death as well. Okay? Here's another way. This is my way of putting it. First is, who's my creator and who am I? My creator is Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Rabbil Alameen. He's the Lord of the universe. What's universe? It's everything created, human and non-human, even the unseen, even worlds that I never thought they'll exist. He's their master. He's the creator. That's who my Lord is. What does that mean? How does that make me feel when I know this truth? How do you feel when you know Allah is the Lord of the universe? Huh? It gives you purpose, but also humbles you. It humbles you. It teaches you, like, know your place, right? You are not insignificant, but you are one of Allah's creation, and you're beloved to Allah. But don't step over the limit. Don't become arrogant. Don't transgress. Don't do dhulm or zulm, because there's somebody who's bigger than you. Dependence. Okay, well that's iyyaka na'bud, you see. But here it just shows you your place. You see, I know, like, we are this. I mean, if you look at the Earth in the Milky Way, it's just a tiny dot, I hardly see it. Imagine you are in it. Yeah. What else? You're about to say something. Yeah. Okay. Exactly. So that's it. You are a servant. But again, what does abd mean? We're going to come back to that. Iyyaka na'bud. So here, who's Allah? Allah is the Lord of the universe and the King, the Master of the Day of Judgment. That's the third point, which is the afterlife. Whatever you do, you're not going to get away with it, good or bad. Yeah? So pay attention to your actions, to the words you utter every day, because everything you're going to be accountable for. There's a Day of Judgment. Don't think that your life is just haphazard. Just live, with no responsibility, with no thinking. You're going to be held accountable in this Yawm ad-Din. And who's the master? My Lord again. So that teaches you who you are. You see, you become not a slave like some people describe abd, but a servant to Allah. Okay. Here's the second theme. What's my relationship with my Creator? Which you said, what's my purpose? Okay. What's my relationship? How should I handle myself with Allah? What do I do? Here it is. Iyyaka na'bud wa iyyaka nasta'een. That's number 2. And iyyaka na'bud, you alone we worship. We'll go into the meaning of worship later on. And you alone I seek help, which is called in Arabic reliance on Allah, which is called tawakkul. Tawakkul means it's an action of the heart. You take every action possible to study for your exams or build a house or whatever, as if there is no God. Do you understand? So when I prepare this thing, I don't worry about who's coming. Even if one person shows up, I'm going to do my best to deliver that seminar to that one person, because that one person could have an impact on them. Do you understand? He could grow up to teach his kids. Yeah, it's not about number. It's about impact. So I do that knowing that I without any worry at all. And on the other side, I rely upon Allah as if I've done nothing, as if I didn't do any of the preparation. My reliance on Allah, you see, you have to balance those extremes. Total reliance on Allah and total work and grinding. You know who's good at this? Iyaka na'bud. Sadly, not the Muslims. The non-Muslims are good at this. They work every day. They work their ass off every day. You know why? Because they think their effort and their grind is the one that leads to, that makes results. It's not God. You see? Whereas us, we have that two powers. We need to work hard, but also we need to rely upon Allah at the same time. We shouldn't worry about the results because it's out of your hand. So this is what Iyaka na'bud, which is what do I do? And then the third one is, how do I worship my creators? This is where you need the Prophet. How do I stay in the straight path? What should I lead? How should I lead my life? That's this, which is اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب, etc. That's the third theme. So if you look, inshallah, we'll stop after this. If you look at the themes, a lot of themes that you could extract from this. So help me to find exactly where they are in Al-Fatihah. So Allah's names and attributes, including hidden attributes, we mentioned them, which are Allah, Rahman Ar-Rahim, Malik, and Rabb, and what's the hidden one? Hadi. So that's one of these are the main attributes, which is Allah, Rabb, Rahman, Rahim. The main attributes of Allah are mentioned in Al-Fatihah. Hamd or praise, just give me the verse. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Okay. Gratitude, humility, and thanks. It's still Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. No, that's too early. You jumped too far. It's still because Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, it doesn't mean just praise. When you translate it, you have to use two words, praise and thanks. I'm going to explain this, inshallah, in session 2, which is what's the difference between praise and thanks. Praise is reserved for Allah, thanks is for the people. But for Allah, we say both. And how do you say it in Arabic? Alhamdulillah. It combines both. Because in Arabic, you could say Athana'u wa shukr, but it has a totally different meaning. Arabic has a very specific word, which is hamd. You can't say hamdu laka. Alhamdu li Taha. We can't say that. Praise be to Taha. I can praise him, but I can't use the word hamd. It's exclusively to Allah. Okay? I'll come back to that. What is the divine sovereignty and supreme authority of creation? Which verse? Rabbil Alameen. Yes, the master of the creation. Yes. Inclusivity of creation. Still, Rabbil Alameen, because what's Alameen? The whole universe, everyone, including non-humans. Okay? Allah is infinite mercy. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. I'm going to explain later what is the difference between Rahman and Rahim. Very, very particular, very specific. Adl, justice. Where's justice? That's it. Maliki Yawmiddin. That day, he's going to be the judge. He's going to be standing, judging amongst us. We're going to be held accountable. The day of judgment, Yawmuddin. Accountability, Yawmuddin. Resurrections and recompense, Yawmuddin. You see, it's all going back. These are very, very lessons that you could extract from. The afterlife, Yawmuddin. You see, all back. Glorification of Allah. Here, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. You're glorifying Him. Not yet. Iyaka na'budu, iyaka nasta'in. Not yet. We're still there. Okay, 2 more. Devotion. When you devote yourself on Allah, which verse? This is where this is Iyaka na'bud. You see? We say, you alone, Iyaka. It's a very specific phrase in Arabic. You alone we worship, which means you cancel out their shirk, which is associating partners with God. Yeah? And submission, Iyaka na'bud. Worship, Iyaka na'bud. Service and obedience, Iyaka na'bud wa iyaka nasta'in. Allah's guidance, Ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim, relies upon Allah. Iyaka nasta'in, okay? A path as a process, not a destination. No, that's reliance. So here, where it goes into Ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim. Allah didn't say, we don't say, oh, guide us to Jannah. You know why? Have you ever climbed a mountain or reached a destination? How does it feel? If you've been traveling, yeah? It's the journey that matters, not the destination. You see? When people are playing music, let's say, for the fun of it, okay, Cat Stevens, when he's playing music, he's not trying to get somewhere. Otherwise, the best music would be the shortest. He's enjoying the process. He's into the process. When you're praying tahajjud at night, you're not trying to finish as quickly as you can. You put yourself in that situation, you put your forehead on the floor, and you pray to Allah. I've been in those situations where I lost a sense of my physical body. You can get into that situation. It's called a state of flow, a state of going with the flow. You lose sense of time and sense of space. Here, you ask Allah to guide you to the straight path. You know why? Because it's impossible to get there. That's ihsan. Ihsan is impossible to achieve because the minute you think you get better, you realize, oh my God, there's still a lot to learn. The minute you read about Al-Fatihah, you realize, oh my God, there's so much to learn that I'm ignorant. That's why scholars are the most humble people that you'll meet, because they know how much they need to study. Whereas the ignorant person, they read one book, you know, of Sahih Muslim or whatever, and they think that's it. I'm a mufti now. They go on YouTube and start. That's arrogance. You see? So it's about the journey. Enjoy the journey. When I'm teaching, I'm not trying to finish the lesson as quickly as I can. I try to talk to students face to face. I don't like lecturing. Okay? This is very strange for me to sit. I don't sit down. I usually walk and talk to people. But please pay attention. It's called journey versus destination. You're not trying to get somewhere. I know it's Jannah. I know it's Allah's mercy. But it's the path. It's every day. Not the final destination. Okay? It's a direct conversation with Allah. Where is it exactly? Where do you have a conversation with Allah? Well, here he's in the third person. Praise be to God. I'm not saying praise be to you. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim Maliki Yawmiddin Iyaka. You alone. Now I'm talking to Allah directly. This is the special dialogue, inshallah, we're going to look at in the next thing. And then carrot and stick, which is reward and punishment. Where is that in the Quran? Where is that here? There's a reward, but there's also a punishment if you don't do it. Yes. So it starts from the three groups of people. You see, there's the righteous people, and then there is the people that I'm angry with, and then there is the. So pick your camp. Which one do you want? Do you want the good ones? Do you want the carrot or do you want the stick? That's targhib and tarhib. In Arabic, it's a very beautiful. One more, and then inshallah we'll stop. Prophethood. Where is it mentioned here? Yes, guide us to the straight path. We need prophets. Tawheed. That's it. So there are three types of Tawheed, and this is a discussion on fiqh and sharia. So there are three categories. Tawheed al-Rububiyyah, Tawheed of Lordship is Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. That's Tawheed, oneness, or declaring the oneness of Lordship. And then declaring the oneness of divinity. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen and Iyaka na'bud. And the last one is Tawheed of His names and attributes, which is Rabbil Alameen, Rahman Rahim. So there are three types of Tawheed in the Quran. Sincerity in our actions. Where do you see this here? Sincerity. I will do this only for Allah. For this, that's it. Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in. Seek and guide us to the straight path. That is ihdinas sirat. And then the people. You see the ones I mentioned earlier. So truth and action, truth and no action, no truth and no action. God help them to the third group. But again, that could be me and you. Please don't think it's just the Christian. No, because when you think Christian and Jews, you think I'm safe. I'm the righteous people. I'm good. I'm just gonna chill and take Islam easy. No, we kind of shift between these three groups. So try to be among the first group as much as you can. I'm not saying you're going to be there forever, but at least try. Conviction in Allah's answer. This is a good one. You're convinced of Allah's answer. This is called yaqeen. Where is it here? No, we've discussed that. It's not even here. It's we say it. Ameen. May Allah answer our prayers. Yeah. So that's in a nutshell. Inshallah, we'll finish this. There's plenty to talk about, inshallah, and then we get to verse 1. Inshallah, you see, there's a lot to talk about, inshallah. Jazakallah khair. I'm so sorry.
it.